Well, I thought, one, just want to compliment, Milwaukee on their style of play. In scouting it, you see it and you're trying to explain that to your players, but to actually be out there competing against them, just a very physical, big team, mature team, and they played the right way. So I thought our guys did a really good job of, understanding what we had to do to be successful, following the game plan for the most part, and there are areas that we know we can improve in from playing a team like this because they really prepare you, especially the way they rebound the basketball on the offensive glass.
Coach, were you concerned coming off from Sunday? You basically play a game and a half into triple overtime, and then kind of the gut punch when you don't pull it out, having to fly home and to get ready for a really good team. Were you really concerned coming into this one how the guys would respond?
No, definitely. We tried to, snap them out of it, as fast as we could. We had some intense practices. They weren't long, but they were intense to try to get our guys refocused and understanding that, they all count as one. They all count as one win or one loss, no matter how you look at it. And so for us, we take that approach, and I thought our guys did a good job of responding.
Coach, let's talk about Darius Johnson tonight. He had 28 points, 8 three-pointers. What a night he had. Let's talk about his performance.
I thought Darius was terrific. I thought he had a great night. I thought more so than even the points and shooting the basketball. He's so comfortable in his role now and the leadership. He's leading our team. He's running the show. And the guys are, getting more comfortable with playing with them, all the new players, and you just see that. He's been a rock for us this season, and you'd like to see that out of a senior point guard.
Johnny, what's the status of Mustafa, and also how positive of a thing was it tonight to be able to maybe have to change your lineup a little bit and move some guys around, have some guys step up when you have a guy like that go down?
Well, we talk about that all the time, the ability of guys to take advantage of the opportunity that's in front of them, because you're going to have games like this where you don't have your full roster. You have games where guys may be in foul trouble, and who's going to step up and who's going to contribute. And so, yeah, we definitely missed Mustafa, but we were able to see some guys really step up and respond to the challenge. And so just really happy to see that. We trust them. That's why we put them in the game. And I thought a lot of guys delivered. I thought Tyler did a terrific job for us. I thought Dior did a terrific job for us as well. And, we put Rokas in a different position. He came, he started. And so that's his first start for us. So I thought all those guys really made big contributions.
What was Mustafa's? What's his status?
He's day-to-day. He tweaked his ankle, but it was something that, want to let him continue to recover and get better. So he should end up being fine, but he's just day-to-day right now.
Okay. Going into this game, your team's given up an average of 81 points a game, give up 76 tonight. Where do you think the team is defensively? What do they need to improve upon? You only have a couple non-conference games left.
No, absolutely. We got to continue to get better defensively. That's something that, we hang our hat on. We are playing a faster pace now, so I account for some of that by how fast we're playing. We're playing more possession game, I believe, the way we're playing. And so points are going to be scored more. You have a triple overtime game, doesn't help. I think it was 70-70 before overtimes. So it was more in line with what we wanted until the triple overtime. So we got to get better at it, for sure. But, I expect it to go up a little bit only because, we're playing a higher possession game. We're playing with more pace. And that's going to lead to more possessions by teams.
Follow up on that LSU game, that 20-point lead. What happened?
Yeah, it was the tale of two halves. I mean, LSU, I thought did a really good job in the second half. They put us in some really, really big foul trouble early on. I think the fouls were 9-1 at one point in the second half, and that put us in a position where we really could not, be but so aggressive defensively because anytime we fouled, they were going to shoot two. And they understood that, so they were attacking the basket, attacking the paint a lot, putting us in a position where there's contact, and then it becomes a decision that is going to be called on that. I thought that was a part of it. I thought, we had to execute better when we had the lead. Coming down the stretch, we still were up under 4 minutes. We have to make sure we understand what we have to do, like tonight, to end the game. I thought tonight we made some of the right decisions and did the things that we had done most of this year up until the LSU game. In that same situation, we made a couple, mistakes down the stretch. We turned it over down the stretch, which we rarely do. I thought, we gave them too many second and third shot attempts, on some of their missed shots. They got them back. Those are things you have to do well at the end of the game to kind of end it, and we didn't do that as well.
You talked about Dior stepping up. He had 9 points in the second half, kind of commanded the offense for a bit. How does he take this performance into the future?
I think he's getting more and more comfortable with our system. I mean, look, he's making a huge adjustment, And, and the teams we're playing, as you can see, every team is good that we face. So, every possession is so important. And I think early on he was just he was pressing, trying to find his way, and he couldn't get his legs up under him. And I think over the last 2 or 3 games, maybe 3 games or so, you see him getting more and more comfortable. And as he gets more and more comfortable, he'll gain more confidence. And as he gets more confidence, he'll continue to be a steady player for us. I was really happy with his performance today.
Going back to Darius a little bit, obviously he had 28 points, 8 for 10 from 3. He's at a career high today for threes. When a guy's having a game like that, do you just kind of have him lean into the line a little bit?
No, absolutely. He's going to lead our team and he's going to make guys better. But when he has his open looks, I want him taking them. He's one of the better shooters right now in college basketball, and he should be taking his looks when he has them. And so I don't want him passing those up, but I do want him understanding that as a lead guard to facilitate, make guys around you better, and then when your opportunities are there, take them. But he's picking his spots so well right now. He looks like he's a senior point guard. He understands what we want. He's picking his spots, and he's leading our team.
You were out-rebounded by 10. They had a lot of offensive boards. Was that just matchups, lineups, not having, Mustafa in there? What do you think? Why do you think that was?
Well, Mustafa definitely would have helped. And to be quite frank, with Mustafa out, their front line is big. Their wings are 6'7", 6'8". We're out there sometimes with Dior at 6'1", DJ at 6'1", and Juice at 6'1". So they have a little size advantage. And then Stillwell is just one of the best bigs. If you think about what he does, he plays the 4, but he plays the 5. He averages a double-double. So, you have guys like that out there. I think they out-rebound their opponents by more than what we gave up, by more than 10 so far this year. And they average 15 offensive rebounds as well. So they do a good job at knowing who they are. They understand their system and how they can be successful, and they play toward it like any good team would do, and that's what you saw tonight.
Coach, you mentioned the players making the right passes. Milwaukee seemed to be playing some trap at some times, some press at some times. But it seemed like the players were patient, found the right reads. They only gave up 8 turnovers tonight. What did you see from that?
I was really proud of them. We had been challenging our guys about turning the ball over too much, and I thought we did a great job against a team that's really pesky. They're physical, they're active. Like you said, they're trapping. And I thought our guys showed a lot of poise. They made the right decisions with the basketball. They moved it. I think they made each other better by finding each other for good shots. And so that's what you want to see in that kind of situation, because you're going to be, as we go forward from here on, it's going to be, all our games are going to be like this, and that's a good thing. It's going to help us get better. You have to learn how to, be in games like this and be comfortable in games like this.
Johnny, what did you learn from this team, that two-game stretch in West Virginia? What did you learn about it, taking away from that as you guys move forward?
Well, the areas that we have to get better in facing both of those teams. We have to get better rebounding the basketball, and I think it showed again today. We can be better rebounding the basketball, and we're going to continue to concentrate on that. We got to get better at making sure that we have good defensive balance, which means guys are in the right spots, picking up the right guys as the ball's coming down the court. And so those are the areas that we saw that we could improve in. And I thought some of that we improved on tonight, to be quite frank. We did improve on some of it. Like I said, they're just a different challenge because they're one of the more physical, crashing the board, rebounding teams pretty much in the country. They average 15 boards a game. I don't care who you are or what conference you're in. That's doing a yeoman's job of working on the glass.
You mentioned Tyler earlier. What have you seen from him the last couple of games?
With Tyler, Tyler's very easy to play with. First and foremost, he understands the game. He usually really compliments whatever group he's out there playing with, he compliments them. And that's who he is. He's a guy who goes out there on the floor. He's pretty steady at what he does. He's going to be a good defender. He's going to rebound the ball. And offensively, he's going to usually move the ball and put it in the right positions, whether it's to another player or he's going to receive it in a position where he can do something with it. And so he's played what you saw today and what we saw, the other day at Greenbrier. It's Tyler that we see every day in practice. I'm glad to see he's back and healthy so that he can help us.
You mentioned Jalen's been day-to-day. What's he cleared to do at this point?
He's been cleared to do he's done some of our workouts. When we do like pregame workouts, no contact, things like of that nature, but nothing, real physical where we're banging bodies or anything, but shooting, when we do our pregame, shooting, or we do our, in practice after shooting or things like that. He can do those things for a limited amount of time, maybe half hour or so.
Do you hope to have him back before conference play?
Oh yeah, we definitely hope to have him back before conference play. I just don't know, what's going to happen. Like I said, Am I optimistic? Absolutely. But we have to wait and see. Nothing I can do, nothing anyone can do except wait and see where he is at that time. And, the one thing that I do know, he wants to be out there desperately. And so he wants to be out there with his teammates. And so it's tough for him. It's tough for everyone. But the main thing is about his health. You want to make sure he's going to be okay. This young man has a long career ahead of him, and the last thing you want to do is do something or have him do something that puts him in harm's way. So I think our doctors have been amazing. Our trainers have been too, and I think they're following the right plan of action to try to help him along.
Sticking on that topic, Mikey on a podcast said he's like a week away. He's getting close to a comeback. When do you anticipate him making that comeback?
I'm glad you said that on the podcast. I'm not sure. I'm just still day to day with him as well. So I missed that one. So we'll see. But I know he is improving. That's for sure. He's starting to do it more and more, which you can always see when the guy's coming back to almost that protocol to come back to play. But he's not there yet. He's still in the process of getting there. But I'm seeing him, of course, if you compare the two, he's doing more. Which means he's on more of a trajectory right now on a faster track. But I don't know if that's a week or 10 days or 2 weeks or 3 days. It's still day to day with where he is and his comfort level as he moves forward.
Johnny, along those lines, when those two guys do come back, whatever time it is, how do you plan to kind of maybe move them into the lineup a little bit? You don't want to disrupt what you guys have kind of done. So how do you think in your mind you'll be able to maybe get those guys integrated into what you're trying to do and maybe give them some minutes and keep them getting better as they move along?
Well, it was always all about just winning. And so we have to make sure that we understand, our personnel. Like, we know Jalen. I mean, Jalen's already been with me a year. I understand who he is. And so trying to figure him out, not that I'm, that's down the road for us, but trying to figure that out. You got an idea of who he is and his experience. He's a senior out there. In Mikey's case, he's a freshman. So, trying to figure his situation out is a little bit different, trying to figure out a senior who averaged 15 points a game for me last year. So, we'll see. As you know, it can be disruptive when you're starting to do that, especially when we're getting down there with Game 7, 8, 9. We're starting to, get to almost a third of the season's almost over. So, we have to make sure we're careful with how we look to insert these guys to try to make sure we keep our chemistry and our continuity as well as we can.
Time for one or two more.
Only 12 fouls today, Coach. How are you guys finding the line between playing physical and also not fouling?
Well, our goal is always to play as hard as we can without fouling. So, that's kind of how we coach. We coach our guys to play hard, but be disciplined with that. And so I think tonight we were. I thought we were disciplined. We didn't foul as much, and which is something we talked about. We fouled, too much, when we're up at the Greenbrier. So seeing our guys, be disciplined, do the things that we talked about defensively is what I want to see, and that's what you mean by improvement and growth.
Coach, I asked the guys what their favorite Thanksgiving side dish was. Darius likes macaroni and cheese mixed with sweet potatoes, and I think Juice said it was sweet potato pie or something like sweet potato. What about you?
He's gonna like that because my wife made a few of those for the group for tomorrow for dinner. So
what are you running for? What's gonna be your?
My wife's mac and cheese is pretty special for me, so I have an affinity for her mac and cheese. But I tell you what, I'm just thankful, like we all are. I mean, you kidding me? It's one of the best holidays, in our country, and just because it's about family and friends. So you gotta love it. So I'm enjoy just spending the day with our team and the families and the people that'll be here, from our program, and that's what it's about. And then we'll reset and go to the next play after dinner and start preparing. But tomorrow I want these guys to enjoy this evening, good win, enjoy tomorrow with family and friends and teammates, and then we'll move forward. So happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving, Coach. Thank you.
I know, right? Hey, you know what? I will do. All right, Trace. You guys take care.
Thanks.
Take care, buddy.